An AIN reader just got in touch with me to complain that in his view we're providing very contradictory reports on the state of the business aviation market. And in truth, I couldn't disagree with him, because the fact is we are receiving very conflicting data and very conflicting signals from different sources about how well or badly this industry is doing right now. So just last week, UBS Global Research put out a very bullish report suggesting that the so-called Trump bump in business sentiment is now resulting in truly sustained increased demand for business aircraft. The Swiss bank's analysts come up with a 100-point market index that supposedly reflects the sentiments of industry executives and how they feel about demand levels. For February, this index stood at 53 points, higher than where it was in January. It was also the 5th consecutive month for which we saw an increase in expectations for the number of jet transactions conducted. Interestingly, the UBS index for light jets was the highest at 58, followed by mid-sized jets at 52 and large jets at 50. Looking at this in geographical terms, North America was clearly the strongest. The index there stood at 79. For Europe, by comparison, it was 50. And then putting Asia, the Middle East and Latin America together, collectively they stood at 48. But on the very same day, the message from the General Aviation Manufacturers Association was far less encouraging. It reported a double-digit dip in general and business aviation billings for 2016. In fact, overall, nearly 70 fewer aircraft were delivered last year compared with in 2015. And Gamma's numbers also identified the large aircraft segment as the true soft spot in demand. 2016 was not the year we'd hoped for, said Gamma President Pete Bunce. And it's easy to sympathize with him because the industry as a whole has been waiting, somewhat in vain, since the financial crisis of 2008 for a truly sustained recovery in demand. So back to that Trump bump. It's understandable, even logical, to look to the stock market as an indicator of where demand for private aviation may end up. Certainly, stock markets appear at the moment to have hit something of a purple patch, and whether this is down to the policies of new President Trump or not remains to be seen, as does what this will mean in substance for business aviation. Well, one thing is clear, and that is that unfortunately I can't promise an end to contradictory reports on the state of the market, but I can promise you if you keep coming back to AINonline.com, we'll give you all the intelligence and data we possibly can do. And by the way, we love hearing from readers, so keep those comments coming.